In the lush kingdom of Veridonia, where the emerald hills kissed the horizon and rivers sparkled like sapphire threads, there stood a magnificent castle at the heart of it all. The castle was a marvel of grandeur, with towering spires, intricate stained glass windows, and lush gardens that seemed to bloom endlessly with every color of the rainbow. This was the home of Princess Lilibeth, the only daughter of King Alden and Queen Seraphina. Princess Lilibeth was known throughout the kingdom for her beauty and grace. Her sparkling blue eyes reflected the endless sky, and her golden hair flowed like liquid sunshine, cascading down her back in soft waves. But despite her outward beauty and the luxury that surrounded her, Lilibeth often felt like a bird trapped in a gilded cage. Her life was filled with royal obligations, tedious lessons in etiquette, formal banquets, and diplomatic meetings where she was expected to sit quietly, smiling politely as adults discussed matters she barely understood. Lilibeth's only solace was her bedroom in the tallest tower of the castle. It had a grand window that overlooked the entire kingdom. From there, she could see the bustling village nestled at the foot of the castle, the marketplace brimming with life, and beyond that, the rolling green fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. She would spend hours by that window, dreaming of a life beyond the castle walls, where freedom was not just a fantasy but a reality she could reach out and touch. One day, as summer was in full bloom, the castle was abuzz with excitement. The kingdom was hosting a grand gathering of foreign dignitaries. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, the scent of roses and jasmine wafted through the air, and musicians played lively tunes that filled the castle halls with joy. The grand ballroom was adorned with crystal chandeliers, and tables were set with golden plates and goblets, ready for a lavish feast. Lilibeth, dressed in an elaborate gown of midnight blue silk, felt the weight of her responsibilities pressing down on her shoulders. A glittering tiara sat atop her head, a symbol of her royal lineage, but today it felt more like a shackle than a crown. As her maid fussed over her appearance, adjusting the layers of lace and silk, Lilibeth's mind drifted to the world beyond the castle walls. When she glanced out of her tower window, she noticed something that made her heart skip a beat: a lively marketplace in full swing, filled with villagers preparing for a festival she knew nothing about. She could see colorful stalls, hear the faint sounds of laughter, and even catch the aroma of freshly baked bread carried by the wind. The sight filled her with a longing so deep, it almost took her breath away. As the grand state visit commenced, Lilibeth found herself standing in the grand hall, surrounded by noblemen and women dressed in their finest attire. The air was thick with the scent of perfumes and the murmur of polite conversation. King Alden and Queen Seraphina were at the center of it all, greeting each guest with grace and poise. Lilibeth was supposed to stand beside them, her role reduced to that of a silent ornament. But today, her heart was elsewhere. The moment her parents were engrossed in a conversation with a foreign ambassador, Lilibeth saw her chance. With a final glance around to ensure no one was watching, she slipped away, her gown swishing silently as she made her way through the winding corridors of the castle. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and excitement. She was heading toward a place she hadn't visited in years, a small, forgotten door hidden behind a curtain of ivy in the castle's gardens. It was a secret only she knew, discovered years ago during a game of hide-and-seek with her cousins. The door was old, its wooden frame cracked with age, and it had taken all her strength to open it back then. But today, it opened easily, as if it had been waiting for her. Stepping through the door, Lilibeth found herself in a secluded part of the castle grounds, where wildflowers grew in a riot of colors and butterflies danced in the air. She took a deep breath, savoring the scent of earth and grass, a scent so different from the perfumed halls of the castle. The sun was warm on her face, the breeze tugging playfully at her hair. For the first time in what felt like forever, she felt truly alive. Determined to explore, she quickly untied her heavy gown, revealing a simpler dress she had worn underneath. She pulled her golden hair back with a ribbon she found on a garden bench and tucked her tiara safely into her pocket. Without the weight of her royal attire, she felt lighter, freer, like a common village girl on the brink of adventure. The village market was unlike anything Lilibeth had ever imagined. It was a chaotic symphony of sights, sounds, and smells. Brightly colored tents lined the cobblestone streets, merchants called out to passers-by, and the air was thick with the scent of roasting meats, spiced teas, and fresh flowers. Lilibeth's eyes were wide with wonder as she wandered through the bustling crowd, her senses overwhelmed in the most delightful way. She stopped at a stall overflowing with vibrant fabrics and ran her fingers over the soft silks and rough cottons, marveling at the colors and patterns. The merchant, a jolly woman with a gap-toothed smile, winked at her. "Looking for something special, my dear? Perhaps a scarf to match those beautiful blue eyes?" Lilibeth blushed, unused to such casual compliments. Next, she found herself drawn to a stall where a fruit seller was slicing juicy, red watermelons. The fruit gleamed like rubies under the sun, and the sight made Lilibeth's mouth water. The seller, noticing her eager expression, offered her a slice. "For you, pretty miss, a taste of summer," he said. The sweetness burst on her tongue, and she couldn't help but laugh, the sound surprising even herself. As she wandered deeper into the market, Lilibeth stumbled upon a group of children gathered around a street performer. The performer, a lanky man with a feathered hat, was juggling flaming torches, much to the delight of his audience. Lilibeth joined the children, her laughter mingling with theirs as the performer's antics grew wilder and more daring. Then, she spotted something that made her heart flutter, a small, colorful tent with a sign that read, "Fortunes told here." The tent was draped with mystical symbols, and soft candlelight flickered from within. Curious, Lilibeth hesitated for a moment before stepping inside. The air was thick with the scent of incense, and the dimly lit space was filled with strange artifacts and shimmering crystals. A mysterious woman with dark, piercing eyes and a headscarf adorned with silver coins looked up from a crystal ball. "Welcome, traveler," she said in a voice that seemed to echo with ancient wisdom. "Would you like to know what the future holds?" Lilibeth nodded, her heart racing. The woman took her hands, her touch sending a shiver down Lilibeth's spine. "You are on the brink of a great adventure," the fortune teller whispered. "But be warned, young princess, every choice comes with a price, and the path ahead is filled with magic and mystery." Lilibeth's eyes widened in surprise. How did this woman know who she was? Before she could ask, the fortune teller released her hands and smiled mysteriously. "Go forth, little bird, and find the freedom you seek." As Lilibeth left the tent, her mind was swirling with possibilities. The village had shown her a world she never knew existed, a world full of wonders, mysteries, and unexpected kindness. She realized she was no longer content to simply watch from her castle window. The world was waiting for her, and she was ready to explore it. Feeling a new sense of wonder, Lilibeth wandered deeper into the village and found herself at a quaint little bakery. The scent of freshly baked bread and pastries was irresistible, drawing her inside like a moth to a flame. The baker, a cheerful woman with flour on her cheeks, greeted her warmly. "Welcome, dearie. Care to try something fresh from the oven?" she offered, handing Lilibeth a warm croissant. As she savored the flaky, buttery treat, Lilibeth felt an overwhelming sense of contentment, a feeling she had never experienced in the grand halls of her castle. The baker noticed Lilibeth's curiosity and began to share stories of her travels to distant lands in search of rare ingredients. "There's a whole world beyond those hills," she said. "One day, you should see it for yourself." The words lingered in Lilibeth's mind, planting a seed of adventure in her heart. She realized that there was so much more to life than royal duties and formalities. The world was vast, filled with stories, flavors, and magic waiting to be discovered. As the day wore on, Lilibeth stumbled upon a tiny, tucked-away bookshop. The scent of old parchment and leather filled her senses as she stepped inside. The shopkeeper, an elderly man with a kind smile, welcomed her. "You have the look of someone searching for something," he said, guiding her to a dusty corner filled with forgotten tomes. Lilibeth's fingers brushed against the spines of ancient books until she found one that seemed to glow with a soft light. It was a book of legends, filled with tales of brave heroes, hidden treasures, and enchanted lands. She was so engrossed in the stories that she lost track of time, the sun beginning to set outside the shop's window. The old shopkeeper handed her the book as a gift. "Take this, my dear," he said. "May it inspire you to seek your own adventures." As she thanked him, Lilibeth felt a strange sense of destiny. She realized that her heart was no longer satisfied with the confines of the castle. She longed for more adventures, more discoveries, more of the world beyond. The sun had dipped below the horizon by the time Lilibeth returned to the castle. Slipping back through the hidden door, she found the festivities winding down. Her parents hadn't noticed her absence, but she knew it was only a matter of time before someone asked where she had been. That night, as she lay in bed, the book of legends clutched to her chest, Lilibeth felt torn. She had tasted freedom, discovered magic, and met people whose lives were so different from her own. Could she go back to her life of royal duties, knowing what lay beyond the castle walls? The following morning, she awoke with a newfound resolve. She approached her parents and shared her desire to explore the kingdom and learn from its people. To her surprise, they agreed, seeing the wisdom in her wish to understand her future subjects. And so, Princess Lilibeth's secret adventure became the first of many. She traveled the kingdom, learning, growing, and discovering the true magic of life. Her story became a cherished legend, a reminder that the greatest adventures often begin when we step outside our comfort zones.